Hi there, and welcome to Mrs. Big's video lesson number 1. Our topic today is going to be cellular respiration and photosynthesis. And yes, you really do have to memorize these. I know for my test that you can use your notes, but you're not going to be able to use your notes on TCAP, and you're going to need this when you go to high school anyway. So it's just a good idea to learn these, and it's actually really easy. I'm going to give you some tools to use to help you learn these formulas, and it's just take a little bit of time. First of all, you're going to need a piece of paper. You're going to need some index cards or paper that is cut kind of the size of index cards, a pencil, and you might need a pair of scissors. Okay? So keep that handy. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make an answer key that you can use to check your learning. So what we're going to do is we're going to do cellular respiration first. So I'm going to go ahead and title it and write the word down. Cellular respiration. And if you remember from our body system unit and when we talked about the respiratory system, this is what you do. And the reason I'm starting off with cellular respiration is because you probably know more about yourself than you know anything. So if you can remember what you breathe in and you exhale out, you should be able to do cellular respiration. If you can do cellular respiration, you can just flip it around and do photosynthesis. Piece of cake. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the formula in English. So we have glucose, which is food, plus oxygen that we breathe in, and then we put our arrow, which means yields, and we give off carbon dioxide, and water, and then cell energy, which is ATP. Okay, now I'm going to put the symbols underneath because you do need to know those. Now glucose is C6H12O6. That means it has 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen. Plus 6O2, that's our oxygen. We have our arrow again. Then we have 6 carbon dioxide, which is CO2, plus 6 water, H2O, and then ATP is still ATP. Okay? And to help you remember that cellular respiration is what people do, I'm going to put a little stick person here. Okay? There you go. Kind of stupid, but hey, stupid helps you remember things. Now, I'm going to make my flashcards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some cards and I'm going to put the English word on one side and the chemical stuff on the other. And that way you can use both sides. So we'll put glucose, which is another word for sugar, and on the back we'll put the chemical symbols, C6H12O6. Make sure when you write these chemical symbols that you put the little numbers below the letters. Alright, so there is my glucose, and now I'm going to do oxygen. And I'm going to put my 6O2, that just means I need 6 of those molecules, because as I told you guys, each side of the equation has to be balanced. You're going to do a lot more of that when you get to 8th grade. Carbon dioxide, which is what we exhale. So we need 6CO2. Having trouble picking my cards up. There we go. Water, which, as you know, is 6H2O. And then we'll need a card for ATP. And ATP is the same either way, so we can, if you want to put it on both sides, you can. It's up to you. Now we need to make some cards for our arrows and our plus sign. So I'm going to take 2 cards and I'm going to cut them in half. And if you look, we have 1, 2, 3 pluses. So just put plus, plus, and plus, and then we have an arrow. And we'll do our arrow. The arrow always points the same direction in chemistry. Alright, so there's cellular respiration. Well, photosynthesis is just the opposite. The only thing that's different is the energy format. So the reactants here for cellular respiration are the products for photosynthesis. And the products here for cellular respiration are the reactants for photosynthesis. Remember, reactants are always going to be the ingredients. Or like when you make a cake or brownies, it's what you put into the mix. What you get out, the cake or the brownie or pizza or whatever you're cooking, is your product. So now we're going to do photosynthesis. So go ahead and write that down there. And we just flip the equation. So we have 6CO2 plus 6H2O. Then our energy is a little different. It's light energy. Like sunlight, or you can use a grow lamp for a plant, but it's light energy. And then we have this. And we end up with glucose, C6H12O6 plus 6 oxygen. And we're going to put a little plant here. Okay. Now, what you should notice is that the reactants here are the same as the products here. The products here are the reactants here. It's a cycle. It goes in a circle. So the only other card we need to make is a light energy card. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll put light energy here. And if you want to draw like a sunshine or something on that to help you remember what that means, that's fine. And I really didn't need to do it on both sides, but I did. Now, here's what you're going to do to help you learn these equations. You're just going to have to memorize them. But it's not that hard. What you want to do is you want to put your key away. You might want to look at it and study it a little bit before you start doing this. And I recommend that you do this just for a few minutes a day until you get them memorized. Put it aside, and then you're going to tell yourself that I'm going to do the English for, say, let's say photosynthesis. So you're going to lay your cards out in the English, okay? And I'm sorry, I can't really pan my camera back without having it fall off the table. So you're going to lay out your cards, and you'll say, okay, I'm going to do photosynthesis. And you start thinking, okay, photosynthesis, plants give off or produce oxygen. So I'm going to put oxygen over here, and I'll put my arrow. So I know that my arrow, and these are going to take way too much space for the screen, but you get the idea. So I think my arrow there. Alright, so it gives off oxygen. And what else do plants give us? Well, they give us, sorry about that, food. So I'm going to put a plus, and then I'll put my food, which is glucose. Alright, so now I actually have my products. So now that means that plants must use carbon dioxide and water, and you can put your equations in there. And then they use light energy. Anytime you use light energy, guys, it's photosynthesis. ATP is always cellular respiration. So then what you can do is you can check yourself. Did I get it right? Check it. And if you did, great. Mix your cards up and try it again. I would recommend maybe focusing the first few times on the English, and then go ahead and start doing it with the chemical symbols. I'm sorry my cards are so big they don't fit into the camera range. But you get the idea. So you're going to want to sort these cards out and practice putting them together. And remember, if you know one, you know the other, because they're absolute opposites. If you have any questions, you can always go ahead and contact me on Edmodo. You know how to get there. It's www.edmodo.com. Obviously, you know because you're watching this. And you can also contact me through my school email, which is Karel, K-A-R-E-L, .biggs, B-I-G-G-S, @cmcss.net. I hope you guys take some time to make these cards, learn and study this. I really want to see a lot of good grades on this next test whenever we're going to have it. Enjoy your snow day, but please don't forget about school. And there we go. Written, produced, filmed, acted, and everything by me. And it's really my first video. So enjoy. Bye-bye.